Your entire personality is a lie. Buried in your mind, two forces are locked in a silent war. One demands logic, the other screams for empathy, and the side you've ignored, it's poisoning your relationships, your career, and your soul. Carl Jung called this battle thinking versus feeling, and today you'll learn which one truly rules you, and how the loser is plotting your downfall. But here's the twist. This isn't a choice you made, it's a script written into your psyche before you could speak. By parents who praised your maturity when you hid your tears. By teachers who called you too sensitive when you questioned unfair rules. By a world that rewards thinkers for their ruthlessness and exploits feelers for their compassion. Chapter 1. Jung's secret blueprint of the mind. Jung didn't just study the mind, he cracked its code. Hidden in his work is a bombshell. You have 4 mental functions, but only one dominates. Sensing, intuition, thinking, feeling. Today we focus on the 2 titans, thinkers and feelers. But here's what YouTube gurus won't tell you. Your dominant function isn't random, it's forged in trauma. Did you learn to numb your pain with logic after a parent abandoned you? Or did you become an emotional caretaker to survive a chaotic childhood? Einstein, a thinker, Mother Teresa, a feeler, Steve Jobs, a hybrid. But most people are slaves to their dominant function, and it's destroying their lives. Here's how to know, when chaos strikes, do you analyze or do you empathize? Thinkers dissect problems like machines. Feelers absorb emotions like sponges. But here's Jung's darkest insight. Your dominant function isn't your gift, it's your addiction. Thinkers. You've turned reason into a drug to numb the void where emotions should live. Feelers. You've made empathy a crutch to avoid the terrifying work of self-assertion. Chapter 2. The Thinker's Curse. Logic as a weapon. Thinkers. Your superpower is reason. You see the world in black and white, justice, efficiency, truth. But here's the nightmare you won't admit. Your logic is a mask. Deep down you fear emotion. Vulnerability terrifies you, so you armor yourself with facts. Only to wake up alone wondering why no one trusts you. But it's worse than that. Your obsession with objectivity is a lie. Every rational decision you make is infected with hidden bias, the bias against your own humanity. You call feelers illogical. But secretly, you envy their ability to connect, to love without conditions, to exist beyond spreadsheets and syllogisms. Jung's warning, your shadow isn't emotion, it's repressed emotion. Every time you dismiss tears as weakness, you bury a piece of your soul. And one day, it will erupt. Like the CEO who destroys his marriage over a petty argument. The scientist who has a breakdown when her data fails. The thinker who realizes too late that being right feels like ashes in the mouth. Chapter 3. The Feeler's Trap. Empathy as a Poison. Feelers. You see the world in color. Harmony, compassion, connection, it's your oxygen. But here's the venom in your gift. Your empathy is a slow suicide. You've been gaslit into calling your depth weakness. Told your intuition is dramatic. So you shrink. You apologize for existing. You let narcissists drain you because conflict is bad. But Jung's brutal truth, you're not kind, you're complicit. By swallowing your truth to keep peace, you become an accomplice to your own erasure. You swallow your truth to avoid conflict. You let others drain you, fearing you'll be called selfish. But your shadow isn't cruelty, it's repressed truth. Every "it's fine" is a lie that rots your spirit. Every time you prioritize others' comfort over your dignity, you die a little. And one day, you'll wake up as a ghost, loved by everyone, known by no one. Chapter 4. The Shadow's Revenge. How your weakness controls you. Here's the Jungian secret no one tells you. Your inferior function isn't weak, it's a bomb. The more you ignore it, the more it controls you. Thinkers. Your repressed feeling leaks as rage when logic fails. Feelers. Your repressed thinking explodes as passive aggression when you're drained. But the shadow's revenge is crueler than outbursts. It's the thinker who falls obsessively in love with someone chaotic, their shadow screaming for emotional chaos. The feeler who sabotages success, their shadow punishing them for daring to want more. Ever met someone you instantly hated? Jung says, they're a mirror, that illogical co-worker, that cold friend. They're your shadow, screaming to be integrated. That's why you rage at woke culture or toxic masculinity. You're not debating ideas, you're attacking the disowned parts of yourself. Chapter 5. Becoming Whole, Jung's Alchemy of Opposites. The goal isn't to fix yourself, it's to marry your opposites. Thinkers, let a tear fall. Feelers, let a boundary stand. This is individuation, where logic and empathy fuse into wisdom. But here's the hardest truth. Individuation isn't self-improvement, it's grief. It's mourning the person you thought you were. The thinker must bury their God complex. The feeler must kill their martyr complex. And in that death, you're reborn. Name your function, next big decision, ask. Am I avoiding emotion or truth? Talk to your shadow. Write a letter to the opposite you, hate it, good. Experiment thinkers. Watch a sad movie without analyzing. Feelers, say no without apologizing, but be warned. This path is lonely. Your old friends will call you changed. Society will reward you less. But for the first time, you'll feel real. Jung's final warning, you will always lean toward thinking or feeling. But the moment you demonize one, you split your soul. The world needs thinkers who feel and feelers who think. So ask yourself, will you keep performing strength while dying inside? Or will you embrace the terrifying beauty of being human, flawed, messy, gloriously whole?